Good morning. Well, I'm 5 minutes earlier, but I don't have internet in my house, so I'm driving to the studio to do the meditation. And then I suddenly thought, oh, maybe you would like a little ride together to see what's going on after the hurricane. So this is the road from my house, and I'm gonna start driving now. A lot of things are cleaned up already, but let's see. The only thing is that I cannot tag anybody. So if you have the ability to tag people, you can tag the usual suspects of our practice. So as you can see, some trees, quite a bit. I'm gonna move. Yeah, quite a bit of trees fell down. I can't tell who is joining. I see that there are 3 people watching now, but I cannot tell who it is. So if you want to say something in the comments, go for it. I'm just gonna move very slowly so that I can show you what is happening, and then I'll park somewhere for the meditation itself. So yeah, it's not too bad, but a lot of trees fell, so there was a lot of wind from the east, as far as I understand. I didn't get any water in the house, just a little bit under the front door, but most of the things, I mean, no, everything is fine except the stupid internet. That's my weakest link. Good morning, John. So nice to see you. Oops, I totally missed the good morning, Mary. I'm just driving around to show you, to show you guys who are not on Cozumel what's happening, and then I'm gonna park somewhere for the practice itself. So let's give it a few moments. And Melgar is usually like the best. The water doesn't collect here. If you go inland a little bit, like on the 30th, oh my God, the puddles are awful. Good morning, Jean. Good morning, Anne. So yeah, for those of you who are just joining in, I'm driving around. I was driving to the studio to do the meditation because I don't have internet in my house. But then I thought, oh, I'll drive a little bit so that you can see what's happening after the hurricane. Anyway, I was saying that on the 30th, and oh my God, the puddles are awful. I don't know how people move there. Well, at least this is what it was yesterday. Good morning, Joey. All right, it's time for me to find some kind of parking. Of course, now I can't, so bear with me for a couple more minutes as I find a good place to park and do our practice. Ooh, and you can see the infamous now line for the ferry. It's been so bad with all the ferries, and of course now with the hurricane, I guess this is the first ferry to come after the hurricane. Although yesterday, as I was driving home around 5 o'clock from Nelda's, there was a plane coming in, so it was already okay. Good morning, Gina. All right, people, I need a parking spot. That is not a taxi. See, all the boats, all the little boats were taken out of the water, thank God. Otherwise, they would have really suffered. I think I can do here. Nice view. All right, well, let me get out of the car. Bear with me for a moment. Oh, maybe I should get out of the car. Maybe it's okay like this. Why not? Yeah, it's nice and actually I'm gonna stay. So, we've been talking about aversion for the past few sessions. And yesterday I mentioned already that one of the very effective ways of dealing with aversion is the practice of forgiveness. So this is what we're going to explore today. Take a comfortable position and take a few moments to settle in. To scan your body. Just notice what's going on externally and internally. Let your breath be soft and easy, natural, comfortable. And invite effortlessness into your body, into your heart, into your mind, softening from the inside out. In order to be released from deeply held aversion for ourselves or others, we must be able to practice forgiveness. Forgiveness has the power to ripen forces of purity such as love, warmth, kindness, and affirms the qualities of patience and compassion. It creates the space for renewal and a life free from bondage to the past. When we're held prisoner by our own past actions or the actions of others, we really can't live our present life to the fullest because we always keep thinking about this resentment, the partially experienced pain, the unwelcome inheritance we carry from the past, all function to close our hearts and thereby narrow our worlds. The intention of forgiveness meditation, of forgiveness practice, is not to force anything or pretend that we are bigger than the issue, that we are forgiving, not to forget about ourselves and defer to the needs of others. Not at all. It's not about that at all. In fact, it is out of the greatest compassion for ourselves in the first place that we create the conditions for unobstructed love, which can dissolve separation and relieve us of the twin burdens of lacerating guilt and perpetually unresolved outrage. It is much more difficult to forgive than not to forgive. But forgiveness does not mean condoning a harmful action or denying injustice or suffering. It should never be confused with being passive towards violation or abuse, shutting up in any way, not at all. Forgiveness is an inner relinquishment of guilt and resentment, both of which are devastating to us from the inside. And as forgiveness grows within us, it may take any outward form. We may seek to make amends, demand justice, resolve to be treated better, or simply leave a situation behind us. The sense of psychological and spiritual well-being that comes from practicing forgiveness comes directly because this practice takes us to the edge of what we can accept. Being on the edge is always challenging, wrenching, and at the same time transforming. The process of forgiveness demands courage and a continual remembering of where our deepest happiness lies. As Goethe said, our friends show us what we can do. Our enemies show us what we must do. And it is indeed a process, which means that as you do the reflections, many conflicted emotions may arise: shame, anger, a sense of betrayal, confusion, doubt. See if you can try to allow such states to arise without judging them, like waves that come in and out. Recognize them as natural occurrences that you cannot really control, and then gently return your attention to the forgiveness reflection itself. This reflection that we're going to do around forgiveness is going to be done in 3 parts. First, asking forgiveness from those you have harmed, or just one person that comes to mind. Then offering forgiveness to those who have harmed you, and offering forgiveness to yourself. So resettle in your comfortable position. Take a nice inhale and exhale, once again softening from the inside out. Let your breath be natural and uncontrolled. And you can begin saying something like this: if I have hurt or harmed anyone, knowingly or unknowingly, I ask their forgiveness. If I have hurt or harmed anyone, knowingly or unknowingly, I ask their forgiveness. And if different people, images, or scenarios come up, direct this specifically to them, releasing the burden of guilt. Ask for forgiveness from that specific person. I ask your forgiveness. It's as simple as that. I ask your forgiveness. So I'll give you a couple of minutes with that. If I have hurt or harmed anyone, knowingly or unknowingly, I ask their forgiveness. And when somebody specific comes to mind, I ask your forgiveness. Now let that go. Take a nice inhale and exhale. And we're going to move on to offering forgiveness to those who have harmed you. Don't worry if there is no rush of loving feelings towards those people or person. This is not meant to be an artificial exercise, but rather a way of honoring the powerful force of intention in our mind. In this practice, we're just asserting the human heart's capacity to change and grow with love. So you may start by repeating, if anyone has hurt or harmed me, knowingly or unknowingly, I forgive them. If anyone has hurt or harmed me, knowingly or unknowingly, I forgive them. And as different thoughts and images come to mind, maybe specific people. Continue with just one phrase, I forgive you, directed to that person. I forgive you. And now gently let that go. Take a nice inhale and exhale. And now we're going to turn our attention to forgiveness of ourselves. If there are ways, and there are always ways, you have harmed yourself or not loved yourself or not lived up to your own expectations like all of us do, this is the time to let go of unkindness towards yourself because of whatever you did or did not do. You can even include the inability to forgive others that you may have discovered into this practice of forgiving yourself. So start like this. For all the ways I have hurt or harmed myself, knowingly or unknowingly, I forgive myself. For all the ways I have hurt or harmed myself, knowingly or unknowingly, I offer forgiveness. I forgive myself. Or you can simply say, I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. Making it a very short and easy mantra. I'll give you a few moments with that. And now let that go. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Gently opening your eyes if they were closed. Gently coming out of the practice. As you move through your day today, I invite you to reflect on forgiveness a little bit more. Maybe repeating those phrases that we tried this morning. Offering forgiveness to those who have harmed you, to those who you have harmed, and of course to yourself. And see how that goes. Thank you so much for being here. Well, the practice part is over, but since I have to drive back, I'm going to keep the video open because I know some of you would like to see the what's happening, so you can stick with me here. Otherwise, have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow from my home, hopefully with the internet, but if not, from somewhere else in Cozumel. I'll drive slowly so that you can see what is going on. By the way, as we turn here, you can see that everything is boarded up nicely. The island is definitely very well prepared for all the hurricanes. It's quite amazing. Oops, oops, stop this. And by the way, I saw dive boats going out, so I guess diving is on today. Or maybe they were just moving, I don't know. By the way, this is one of my absolute favorite houses on Cozumel. Isn't it so pretty? This is just so amazing. Yeah, you know, overnight I guess it wasn't raining that much because yesterday this avenue, it's 20th, it was much more flooded. And all my cats returned. They were not there last night. I was marginally worried. But this morning, I mean, when I say all my cats, obviously I don't include Matryoshka because she was with me all the time. But the street cats, which I have a third one right now. All of them came back this morning asking for food. So I am grateful that they are okay. One more note. Strangely, or maybe not strangely, I don't know. For some reason, they canceled trash collection on Tuesday or Wednesday, or whatever. They were supposed to come right before the storm, and they canceled that, instead moving it till after the storm, which I think was a strange decision, unless, of course, they wanted to give people time to, like a day off or afternoon off or whatever, to to prepare their houses. Maybe that's the reason, and in that case it's good. But trash is like everywhere. All the cans, obviously all the trash bins are overturned, and now it's a little bit cleaner, but yesterday it was just horrible trash. All the streets were literally trashed. All right, this is where our tour will end in a moment at the studio. Look at that. Yeah, so some branches fell. I wonder what happened inside. So I'm gonna take you inside the garden too, so that we can see together what's going on. This garden has really, like, the two hurricanes. the garden of our studio was not affected at all. So let's see what's happening now. Lots of branches. Gracias. They're cleaning. Good. Hola, buenos días. Todo bien aquí, ¿eh? Yeah. Look, it looks like no trees were affected. It's fascinating. This garden is amazing. Oh, I'm so happy that no trees fell here. And I wanted to come to the studio to see if anybody would come for class this morning, but I guess not, which is fine, totally understandable. Look at that beautiful garden. All right, well, I'm gonna go back home then and hope to find some Telmex car on the road and maybe convince them to come and fix my internet if they can. All right, guys, thank you for sticking with me and have a beautiful day. I'll see you tomorrow.